saying is, in a way, aren't feet pics kind of humanitarian work?
Yeah, in a way.
Absolutely.
Dave.
Wait. Damn it.
Wait, you
Oh.
fucked up your foot.
No!
Well, there's the question, ladies, gentlemen, everyone outside and in between of. Feet pics. Humanitarian work?
Listen, that's out of context. I should stop talking, is what I'm learning.
Agree.
I mean, I think it depends on the context
Hey!
of the feet, yes? I mean, are we give like, how do you address the need? I don't know, assess the need for feet. What kind of...
Listen.
Get your
like,
places
line
first
from
off.
Top Gun, isn't it?
Wait, what? The need for feet?
Need for
Need for feet?
The need for feet. Well, before we were parked on a planet called Corobrant, and then we started talking about feet quite a lot, and now we're back on Corobrant.
Yeah.
Incredible scenes. Before the break, we left our adventuring party, having just docked and been given some very vague directions on the world of Corobrant, owned and sort of traded on predominantly by the Mercane. Sam.
Why is here my cane?
Sam.
Yeah.
What is...
Fuck you.
Look, I'll put Robin Hood Men in Tights jokes wherever I like. I enjoy that film unironically.
Wait, I missed the joke?
Oh, check the chat. Check the chat. He's put it in there so that we can never edit it out. That's fine. Trying desperately to get back on track. Speaking of feet, the Mercane have huge feet. They're massive.
You know what they say
they're
about
so
big feet?
Big socks.
You know what they say about John McCain? He's a maverick who's no longer with us.
Oh my god.
R.I.P. John Kane.
With special feet.
I will Google that. Did John McCain have special feet? I'm gonna,
I can
it's
ask
a
my
risky
friend
one.
who worked for him. Just text Aaron randomly. Like, I know you're in Warsaw, but...
Please do it right now.
Question
Red
time.
Toes
Bringing to
Day.
you. Oh god, I swear.
Yes. Yes. Wait, guys, what does Red Toes Day entail? And why does that also feel like it somehow connects to the Donner Party?
I'm gonna Google that because I've never heard of that before in my life.
Oh my god,
It's
yes.
Red Nose Day, but
Red
Ah.
Nose Day
Toes.
for red toes. For all of
But
you
you get-
freaks out there. For all you goddamn feet loving.
I just know, I don't know if this is related to the feet stuff, but I just got a text from D&D's European brand manager.
Not me looking at my feet and be like, do I have red
What?
toes? I don't.
You've got
What?
good
Look.
tattoo.
D&D Grand
You tell that brand manager
the brand manager.
if he wants feet, we got him covered.
He knows.
He knows.
what?
Okay,
I'm
cool. So
sorry,
just so.
brand manager person out there.
Oh
Hi.
god. Okay.
Should I just like, you know,
Just a little treat, like a little treat.
little
So
teaser.
make them
little
pay for the feet. Make them pay for the feet pics. God. Also, hi D&D's European brand manager. If you're watching,
Yes.
it's really nice to have you here. Thank you so much. We're a
I
very
love that you're
serious
here.
stream, I promise.
God, why
Definitely.
would we be? Why would we
Yeah.
ever do that?
Somewhat.
So the Mercane have huge feet. They have huge feet. They are on a planet that your ship has just docked on.
Someone
Okay.
tells me.
What would you like to do? How would you like to role play this? And if you want it to involve feet, fine. But like, come on.
I'm still just imagining 10 little red noses on all of my little toes. Just like,
Oh, that's very cute.
sorry, anyway, please go ahead.
Jelly's gonna like flop out of the ship into the dock and put himself together, and then just kind of like look up, look down at the feet, and be like, "Oh wow, hi, my name's Jelly."
One of the Mercane that has been prowling around on the dockside, looking at wares and things that people are selling straight off of their ships, sort of looks you up and down and goes, and moves on quite quickly.
Oh, that hurt me. That hurt my feelings. I'm gonna go back to the ship. And then he just plops back up. He plops back up and says, "People here are rude."
Oh, Jolly, I'm really sorry to hear that.
It's okay.
I value you, and these rude people are horrible and should be punished, and we'll think about that later. But in the meantime, what have we learned?
We
Also,
need
show
to
me
be
who is rude to
selling
you, and I will
something.
fight them. I will
No,
fight them.
Exactly.
We need to be selling something in order to like have them actually talk to us. So.
Well,
Will I have feet?
Fuck.
actually, TB, your gallery is impressive. Between you and BB, we have some real artists on this ship.
Uh,
We could be art merchants today, if you're willing to part with some of your.
are you comfortable with me selling pictures of your tush?
Oh, please! I want everyone to know that version of my tush. You made it look incredible. It's like airbrushed. It's the best filter. It's like, Valencia back in the day on Instagram. Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm old. Ignore me. I know that doesn't exist anymore.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
we
okay,
have.
let me just take out the ones that have Gurgi in them because we do not know him.
Like 1800s? Don't you want to go away with me?
So we have the talent, we have the muse, and we need a manager, right? So Charlie, would that be you?
Absolutely. Happy to help.
All right. Okay, we got the crew together. Let's go. What should my role be? Should I be like the maintenance guy or something?
If that's what you're comfortable with, I think that's a great idea.
We
All
can
right,
use you
the
like a
pro-
wall to
goopy?
stick the drawings on. You can make yourself big wall. We stick drawings
I'll
on.
be the
when we-
canvas. Yes, I'll be the canvas. You can draw on me, and then I'll spit it out into
I
like
love
block.
that. That's so creative.
Yeah.
I have
Just
the
so I'm
best
just so
team
I'm
in the world.
100% clear on this plan. You guys are going to like a trade planet to sell smut. That's
Yeah.
what's happening.
And I, as a cat creature, am very concerned.
Listen, sex sells.
Yep.
Everybody needs smut.
I mean, a lot of folks do.
Sex work is work.
Hashtag slut
exactly.
for the sluts.
My plan B was to sell blood that I don't really have use for. Like, I've got a couple of test tubes of blood that's just it's a little superfluous. I don't know,
Smut and blood. Those are the two options.
Maybe
The
maybe
name of
we
our
could
brand.
maybe we could sell some soup and make some
Smut, blood, and soup.
Bloody
It's
good
perfect.
smut.
soup.
10
TM.
out of 10, no notes.
You know what? I'm not going to
SBS.
question any of this. You guys are getting ready to sell your smut, soup, blood, whatever you want. You
three.
just go for it. There is a plank that you guys have at the side of the ship that you use to be able to get onto the dock. Jelly was able to before because he's just very, very stretchy and is able to effectively spring from one place to another. But you put that over the side of the ship. You are now able to get onto the dock without any issues. What would you like to do?
Jelly starts like he grabs an easel and like sets it up, and then he like grabs a bunch of canned soup and starts like placing it on a table that they also brought down from the ship, and they like
Yep.
turn the label so like it doesn't read Campbell's, and then he just writes with like a marker SBS Corporation. So it's Smut, Blood, and Soup Corporation.
Not blood and soup. Yep. Okay.
And then he looks at Dicky, nods, and then just like splats on top of the easel to become the canvas.
Outstanding. As you do this, as you're
Do say
beginning to
make the
set
stuff
up
part of the
your
art.
as you're beginning to set everything up, one of the trades, Mercane, next to you is watching all of this go down. They're selling a variety of sort of astral-looking cheeses. Some of them are floating. Some of them have spores sort of growing out of them. Others little mushrooms. They're all sort of very, very from far away looking. None of you recognize them. And this Mercane is sort of dressed in sort of long black robes with an almost sort of jester point on either side of their hat and golden ringlets, and they are looking at you perplexed.
Dickie's gonna stride right up to him and be like, Hey there, good buddy. I do not recognize any of these cheeses, and I was wondering if you'd like to make a trade because I love trying exotic cheeses.
I
I
take
love
it
trying lots
you-
of things, but the cheese is new.
I take it
cheese
you
touch.
haven't been to the planet Narkar before.
No, I have not. Tell me about it.
The planet Narkar is where we farm these cheeses. I think you'll find they are quite exemplary. Of course, they come with a price, but being by the dockside, obviously they would be a little bit less. And I can tell that you are in dire need, shall we say.
Dire need of cheese is
Oh,
great
just dire
descriptor.
need in general.
Well, that's one way of looking at it. I just am curious if you would accept payment in blood.
Or
We
smut.
also have Smut and Soup. We're
Smut or
SBS
Soup?
LLC, Limited
Yes.
Liability Corporation. So, nice to meet you.
Oh, by the heavens! Wow, that is one offer I have received. That is an offer. Yes. No is
Oh,
the short
okay.
answer. I'll not
Uh,
be trading any of my finer wares for blood, smut, or soup
Well, you
on
know
That's-
what?
this day.
It's
honestly
okay.
fair.
You can keep the cheese. It probably smells like cow's ass anyway, so I'm gonna go and find someone else to talk to.
I take it you haven't been to Corobrant before.
No. And if I'm
First
being
time, first time. Yeah, first time.
yeah, if I'm being totally frank, we were honestly here to sort of connect with an important business associate at a place called
Oh.
Vile Bodies, if you're familiar with that, because we're trying to track that place down.
His eyes go wide, really wide, and he backs away, turns his back on you, and begins to just pack up his stall real quick.
Alrighty, he's not very, very cool.
Good, vile, good day to you. And he just moves off.
Okay,
Didn't
so
even I'll get to offer to sing him a song.
ooh, songs.
A smutty song. It
It
has to
can
be on
be.
brand.
I mean, it
bespoke
could also be a
music.
song about soup. It's also a brand.
As you are discussing the intricacies of singing songs about soup, blood, and smut, a Mercane that is a little older and hunched, but still quite looming, approaches you with their hood drawn over and goes, "Did I hear you were perhaps looking for vile bodies?"
Oh my god, your voice does not match your face. Hello, yes, we're looking for that place.
Ah, I would be willing to trade that information with you.
Do you want smut, blood, or soup?
What are we
What a
talking
song.
about? Whose blood would it be?
Well, I think you can answer that. Tiki, take it away.
Yeah, let me take a look here. And Dickie sort of like rifles through the inside pocket of his blazer and pulls out 3 vials and looks at the labels and goes, one of these is, it says gnome corpse. So I must have gotten this one from a corpse of a gnome at some point. I don't actually remember that one. That's kind of scary. The other one, let's see, we've got half orc, B negative. Actually, B negative. That's one of the rarer blood types. Honestly, you don't see that every day. This third one says, oh, huh, this third one actually says astral elf. Not me though, different astral elf. And this was obtained. Oh, this is menstrual blood, actually. You don't need to know the story behind this one, but I was just very curious. And this fourth one,
We're just looking at Paul for help.
we don't need to talk about this fourth one. This fourth one has crystals in it. It's kind of it's like a one for like witchy people, you know. It's like a new agey kind of a blood vial. Anyway, those are the ones I immediately found, but I can keep rifling through my pockets, see if I've got more extraneous stuff, you know.
She points to Drakey Jake and goes, I would like a vial of Drake blood in exchange for the information that you seek.
And Dickie's gonna just sort of sidle up to TBD, since TBD is like a kind of a protocol droid, sort of is gonna go. Is that normal? Is that a normal thing to ask for?
TB, make an insight check.
Oui, oui, madame. I'm still on the fritz. That's just me normally. That's not even me in character. This is just how I respond to things.
Meanwhile, Jelly is like trying to sell soup.
Ooh.
He's like,
Uh-oh, so we got some mushroom cream, we got some mushroom soup, we got some mushroom creme. I don't know what creme means, but it sounds French. So I could ask TB. She is our
What is
talent.
a lobster
She
bisque?
draws a smut. So if you're looking for smut, she's your gal. Yeah.
You're beginning
This
to
was not
attract a
intentional.
small crowd. A small crowd of Mercane are beginning to sort of watch you guys like from afar. None of them are approaching the stall. They're just watching in wonder at what is happening on the dock side in comparison to all of the other stalls that seem to be selling, normal shit. This this is like beyond them. You're not only like way smaller than every other sort of inhabitant here, you're also like really standing out. There is nothing subtle about what you are doing, and they are beginning to notice. TB, what was your insight check?
TB rolled a dirty 20.
Woo!
Dirty 20.
Although at the same time, she is distracted by the attention, and she's like, "Now is my moment."
TB's a whore. Sorry.
It's one to no one.
You can tell by the way that this Mercane is carrying themselves and the way that they are intensely interested in the Drake itself, more the blood, that this is probably going to become some sort of research. It doesn't feel like a black magic sort of ritual. There's nothing about this person that would say that they are looking to harm said Drake, but they are looking to know more. They are inquisitive. But that is probably where it would end.
I mean,
Do we have a deal?
TB just sort of looks at Tiki like, he seems legit. He seems like one of you. He's curious about the research. I'm not getting super creepy vibe, but also we need to talk to Charlie and the Drake. We need to get Drake consent. We can't
Right.
just take blood without Drake consent.
Exactly. If you'll excuse me for a moment, we're gonna go talk to the Drake's papa and see what's going on. Or I'm sorry, papa. I'll
You?
be right back.
Meanwhile,
Please hold. We'll be right back.
Jelly has turned his arms into like a ukulele and has started playing.
All right, everyone. I want you all to hear this classic song that is based on a really, really old show, but I think you'll enjoy it. And he starts, two lovers forbidden from one another.
Performance check at disadvantage.
I was gonna. Wait, can TB like give bardic inspiration?
Yeah, go for it.
Absolutely. TB would be singing along if she had any idea what the fuck he was singing.
All right.
Oh, that's a 14 with disadvantage.
Not
14 with
bad.
disadvantage. And what's the bardic inspiration give?
That's a D4, right?
I know
Six?
things.
D6.
Oh, that's a 6, so it's a 20.
Hey!
Okay, so on a disadvantage, you get a dirty 20. You are singing fantastic and intricate, beautiful song that somehow manages to turn the entire crowd that has gathered around you. That they are no longer looking at you with a sense of "God damn, what the fuck is this?" into "Okay, I like this. This is art. I get this now. It's highbrow." Oh, and they are beginning to come forward and look like and begin to sort of question your wares. One is looking at you quite intently, like, "How much for the soup? I have never heard of this Campy Bells before. It sounds wonderful."
So we're a trade company. So either you give us goods and we give you our goods, or you could just enjoy the performance for now if you want
What?
to be part.
What would you like in exchange? I'd be
Well,
more than
what do
more
you
than
have?
happy.
What do you have?
Oh, money.
Oh,
Generally,
okay. Could
Fashion.
I
that's
have?
sort of how trade works.
I would
Taste.
like 10,000 gold pieces for the soup.
1,000 persuasion check.
Oh shit. Okay. I didn't think that. I thought they were gonna be like
Come
hell
on, Nacho.
though.
We really
Um,
need this money. Come on.
Are we about to become
17.
fabulously wealthy?
Ooh.
What the fuck is going on?
10,000 seems like an awful lot for such a small token. What is it about this Campy Bells that makes it so worth it?
Well,
Um,
for one, you can sing as good as me, haha. And he just keeps playing the ukulele.
It is a potion of some sort? It has a magical quality?
That is correct. You become the best singer in the galaxy.
Oh, deception check. Deception
No,
check.
I was gonna be like, it makes you slightly warmer on the inside.
That's an 8.
The best singer in the galaxy, you say? I'm not.
Alright, maybe I oversold it a little bit. Maybe it's like the Kranga
uh,
system only, but it's still worth it.
in the Krunga system, you say? So this originates from the Krunga system.
That is correct. Yes.
As this is happening, the lady who was originally interested in sort of giving you that location has begun to meander off and is looking elsewhere for stuff. She seems very much spaced out, like shiny things, and off she goes. But the gentleman for the Campy Bells is very much 10,000 is a bit much. Would you accept 10?
Jelly just kind of looks at him and says, "You know what? You're my friend. You're my pal. I'll take the 10 gold pieces for a Campbell soup."
10 it is. And how do I activate it?
Okay, so you wanna mix it with your old tears, and then mix it, and then heat it up, and then drink it, and it gonna warm you up inside real good, and then you're gonna be able to sing. Yeah.
Incredible. And should I have any issues, I will need proof of purchase, as it were, so that the Mercane are unforgiving, shall we say, of any kind of let's call it trickery. So I would hate for something to maybe not work and not be able to find you again. It would make it very hard for you to trade. Am I right? Am I right? And the other Mercane that have gathered around are like, well, yes, obviously that is our way. That is our way. We are tradesmen. We are tradesmen. The finest of tradesmen.
Has Dickie overheard any of this?
Yes. Yes.
I'm so scared.
Yes, so am I. I'm like,
Dickie is going to go, that's understandable. No trickery here, but I'll tell you what, every now and again, as a part of supply chain issues, you do get a dud. So just in case that happens, although I highly doubt it will, we'll write you a receipt, and you can make sure you get in touch with us. We'll happily refund those 10 gold pieces. Is that satisfactory in terms of a trade transaction?
Can you roll me a persuasion check?
Oh lord, what have I gotten us into?
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
How much trouble do we get into for
You said
I
bootlegging
was so
solar
close to
system
making it
stuff?
worse, by the
Oh.
way.
Say again, sorry?
You said persuasion, sorry?
Persuasion, please.
That's a 13.
Afraid that I don't deal in uncertainties. Only if I am promised a specific effect, then that is what I would like. And I would like to sing very much like your young performer Jelly thing here. Therefore, I would like to suggest a different trade instead. I will take this for free, and if it works, then I will tell my compatriots, and we will share in a joyous joint venture together to sell your Campy Bells to the world. How does that sound?
All right, listen here, friend. I really appreciate your honesty with us. You're such a great person, and I love having you around. But I do want to ask you a little question.
It's anything.
We are performers. We got hired to do a show at Crystal Bodies, and Vile Bodies.
Vile bodies.
Vile Bodies. I'm
Vile
sorry, I started yesterday, so I'm relatively new in this gig. But I was wondering if you could point us into the right direction. You could keep the soup.
Yes, we
I'd
have
be
much
more
smut
than-
to sell them.
Oh, I will. How much for the smut?
Oh!
I was so taken in by
Oh!
the soup, I didn't even see the smut.
The
What?
smut,
Wait,
that's our bread and butter. I am
is
so
that you?
glad you've asked about the smut. It is. Although, the funny thing is, honestly, this was sort of. I did not commission any of this. This was all from the brain, the imagination of my good friend TB here. And in fact, I think you'll see TB did my butt just beautifully. Like it doesn't compare in real life. Like this is honestly, I need to do squats.
Don't shatter the
I
illusion,
also
Vicky.
do.
You are wonderful.
The
Oh, thank
curvature
you.
of the tush is unmatched. I have witnessed art in many a system across the galaxy. I've never seen a tush drawn quite to perfection like this. How marvelous! I will purchase this smut. And he takes the picture of Gurgi, not Gurgi wrestling, because TBD's, I guess, censored something out. He's like,
Yes.
I will take this wrestling picture as well. And yes, I think I know vile bodies. And he looks around, and the rest of the Mercane are like, and begin to sort of leave. And he goes, I I do not have to worry about having a reputation tarnished. I'm quite high in society, as you can probably tell, and you can see by his like regalia in bright red, rich purples, golden embellishments that, yeah, this guy's minted. I do not have to worry about their thoughts and processes regarding me. I've done far worse, and I will take your smut and your campy bells, and yes, for the price of a location. Is that correct?
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
It is a deal, and he holds out his his two forefingers, just like that. He holds them out to you. They're very long, very blue. The nails are very well manicured at the end, and they've got lots of rings on them as well.
Dickie kind of like looks to Jelly and then shrugs and puts his fingers in, so it does this.
This is what we wanted. It is a deal. It is a deal. And he quite happily sort of looks at his art and like pops it away in his pocket and takes
Would you
the
like
soup.
me to sign it?
Absolutely. From the artists themselves, a TB original, shall we say? Fantastic. Yes, please sign it away.
TB signs
As
and
for
hands him a little card and says, "I also do commissions."
oh, we will be in touch. So he sort of takes it, pops it in his pocket, and goes, as for vile bodies, and he motions around, and the city before you looks quite flat, and then there is one absolutely huge spire right in the middle, a shard that sticks out from the rest of the entire skyline, and at its top it has a sort of glowing plasma orb, protecting something, it would seem, but it is rippling in the light. It's with where you guys are positioned around the wormhole where Corobrant is, it feels like dusk, but it's almost like an eternal twilight, because you know from coming in, like, these planets don't move. So it is this eternal, lovely sort of fairyish light that you can all sort of see this thing casting a massive shadow, and through the orb, rippling lots of different colors, is this massive plasma ball on top. And he sort of points over there and goes, "Ah, yes, that is the rising spire. I believe you will find vile bodies in the lower sections of that, maybe the 10th or 20th floors. The rising spire, of course, goes all the way up to the 10,000th floor, but yes, the vile bodies will be lower down there. Should be as if my memory is correct. I may or may not have purchased from there before."
I mean, tell me. So, are there any distinguishing features about this vile bodies? It does sound like a place that's a little hard to find since it's so.
It's it is a destination of ill repute, shall we say, wares that are not openly traded. Or if they are traded with caution, should the cabal catch on. Well, they may already know. I'm not entirely sure, but it's not something that you would want. Sorry, not the cabal, the sisters. Oh, my mind, it is somewhere else.
I immediately went fuck when you said the cabal. I was like,
I know. I was like,
Oh.
what? How? at the mention of the sisters, Dickie kind of just like bites his knuckle a little bit and is like,
Hang on. I'm just gonna make this guy roll something.
Jelly pinches Dicky in the arm to like
I know.
prevent him.
I know.
You are
off to the side.
in a
But-
much lower voice. He goes, I see you are familiar with the sisters.
No, we do not know them.
Oh? Well, that is not my place to pry. You will find vile bodies at the rising spot. Ooh, excuse me, sorry. I had a very rich lunch. If you head over the sky bridges connecting the dock from here to the rising spire, you should be able to get directly there from the 500th level, and then you'll be able to descend down. There are many escalators and elevators, magical means, you see, fantastic things. You'll be able to get down to the lower levels quite easily. Breathing may get a little difficult, though. That is where the smog is.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Mr. John. Is that your name, John McCain?
It is now. John
Awesome.
McCain.
You're,
Yes.
You're a maverick who
Yeah.
doesn't play by the rules, and I respect that about you.
Yippee-ki-yay.
If you ever want me to draw your feet, have my
Oh,
card.
I have plans, TB. I have such grand plans, such grand plans for us later. But yes, I will get in touch with you. For now, I have other things to procure. And with that, he sort of just sort of moves himself off and gives you a little flourish and moves away.
That guy seems like fun.
he was very nice man. Or blue thing. I do not assume.
We should probably get moving before he realizes that the soup doesn't actually make him sing. 'Cause that'd
Yeah,
be
let's
bad.
pack up and get a move on. And Charlie,
Yeah,
just for future reference.
absolutely not.
I was about to say, am I correct in assuming that Drake blood is off the table?
Yeah, absolutely. Not only will I not get it for you, Drakey will have a bite, and I'm not selling it at all at any cost.
That's honestly, that's understandable. I figured I would ask just in case there was anything else going on there. And I'm assuming Drakey Jake doesn't menstruate.
I was same brain. Same brain.
You and me, TB. Wavelength.
I
No,
know his name
because
is
drakes
Drake,
have
but
a seasonal gestation, and so it's not like most mammals.
Oh.
And also, they are magical and they are formed via summoning spell and do not actually breed.
That is so
Oh.
unfortunate.
I know.
yes.
Well, you'll have to teach me more in the future, but in the meantime, we'll pack up. Move out.
Onwards. I was trying to figure out
8-0.
which I would have been, the blood, the smut, or the soup.
Can like TBB just like selling a few more smuts as they're packing up?
They've seen as John McCain leaves, a few of the other McCain have obviously picked up on that and sort of come in and been like, "Oh my god, if he's buying it, we need to get in on this." And yeah, by the time you are done, I'm going to say that all of your prints, all of your works have been taken, like they have been sold immediately. You are now 10 gold pieces richer.
Let's
10
go.
gold pieces for all of the smut.
Originals.
All of the smut.
These are smut. These are
be fair,
first editions.
If you will recall, John didn't actually pay for the smut.
True.
Yes, I understand, but there was a lot there.
Oh, how
And,
much? How much was there there?
I
I'm gonna
mean,
say,
That was a lot.
how much is 10 gold pieces worth of smut? In if you were to give me a couple of parchments worth, how many
It's-
parchments of smut is it?
I mean, there's different, qualities to the various smuts. Some cost more; it's more niche.
Exactly. Is it just bust? Is it like full body? Is it a scenario?
Exactly. Is it a fold out? Is it a life size? Is it does it have secret magical compartments? Like we're not
My
like
favorite is the one where I'm looking pensive, naked on a promontory. What's going on there? What's behind those eyes?
Why is there a radish?
We know what the radish is for.
I'm gonna say you sold 2 more for 5 gold pieces each.
Okay,
There
fine,
you go.
I'll take it.
Okay, excellent. Magical compartment. My God. Oh, okay,
Cheers.
Cheers.
excellent. That's sorry. Gotta quickly make some notes. How would you guys like to proceed while I do this?
Uh,
I can.
packing up the wares and making a move on toward the spire, I think. Yeah?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
I feel like
Excellent.
as we're walking over there, Jelly got the sense that like people are staring at him because he's so bright and yellow. So he kind of turns to Dicky and says,
Dicky, could I borrow your coat? I feel naked.
Oh, yeah, good buddy, no problem. And
Awesome.
Dicky takes his coat off and gives it to Jelly and is just like, and hey, good job singing back there.
Thank you,
Like,
Captain.
You're
I
incredible.
the
learned.
pipe.
I learned from TV. Yeah.
You
I'm
learned
so
well.
proud. I'm so proud.
I said it before and I'll say it again. I've got the best dang team in the galaxy. And Charlie, you fit in so fast and like a glove, my guy.
Cam, it's a pleasure to hear. It's a pleasure to see.
Well, everyone ready to go to a terrifying, seedy place where we don't fully know what they sell, but we know it's something where we didn't talk about people.
Yep, it's a day ending in Y. Come on, jump.
Let's go.
And
Will
with that,
Drakey
you
be
guys.
safe coming with us?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay.
With
So
that, you
maybe-
guys move off in the direction of the sky bridges that head towards the rising spire. You move over the dock, and you can see sort of other traders are beginning to pack up their wares as well. And there is a variety of like not only weaponry on display that sort of seems to have come from systems that you've never even like considered before. There's also foods. The smells are incredible. They're filling your nostrils with incredible spices, seasonal flavors. You can like that make your mouth water. And as you continue to sort of move on, these massive Mercane are moving aside as they sort of see you and are quite sort of interested in your party as you move through. You continue on to the sky bridges, and just as John said, they are just that. They link from the dock right over to Rising Spire, and there are loads of people, loads of other Mercane moving in that direction as well towards the end of the day. It takes you about half an hour to traverse, actually, no, half an hour is probably a bit much. Let's say 10 minutes. 10 minutes from the dock to the Rising Spire. And as you enter, you can see just above the sort of brilliant glass entranceway to the door, it says, what have I written down? Run by Aspiration Corps, on your way to a brighter future. There are holograms playing incredible advertisements on all sides of you. And the Rising Spire itself almost looks like it's made of stained glass. And so as the light begins to sort of emit from out of it, it glows in like 1,000 different colors and adds to the sort of spectral awe of the city. You move in and realize you are on the sort of 500th floor, and here all around you are still, there are like more concrete stores here, and still everyone is trading. Nobody seems to be packing away here. This is where, I guess, concrete business is done. There are stairs that look like they lead off to maybe private apartments. High arches and stone twists show that there is a lot of craftsmanship that has gone into the creation of this spire. And then there are stairs that lead down, and with languages that seem to accommodate to everyone: Common, Gnomish, Elvish. There is everything that you would possibly need in a lot of different signage all over the place. And that is where you are currently stood, so sort of at the beginning, looking into this massive court of trade with one of these massive signs in front of you.
I have a question.
Yes.
Does the party recognize the name Aspiration Corps?
No.
Okay.
It feels like Samurai should be calling comrade.
I'm-
brighter future together.
I'm the worst, and I was like, do we mean like aspiration, or do we mean like aspiration like when you're letting gas out of something?
Ooh, very good.
Sweet.
With the tagline of "On your way to a brighter future."
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Keep-
nah, it's the first one. It's farts. It's farts.
It's farts. Everything's farts.
On your way to a brighter flatulence.
Yay!
The bright tonalities.
Baldy aspiration. My goodness.
Hey.
Jess.
We love it.
Ooh.
Hello.
Actually, no, this is a question for the team. As
Oh.
we're for 5 points. So as we're going through, Charlie's really keen to this is the first time we've had not contained somewhere under somebody else's will. Like we're just mooching about a space. So I think
Yep.
Charlie's there what's everyone's aperitif, snack of choice? We've got everything here, and I'm a little bit peckish. What do we all like to eat?
If you could find carbonated apple juice, that would be amazing. That really tickles my taste buds.
Apple juice. Right. Yep. So if I see anything that's applicable to someone, I'm buying it. And also any random bits of meat, I'm throwing them back for Drakey.
Absolutely.
Uh,
You guys hungry?
Personally, ordinarily I like a dry red wine, but in terms of what I'm thinking about, right now I could really go for some raw fish over a bed of rice, and for that, maybe a Sauvignon Blanc sort of a thing, like a nice white wine, you know.
Oh, good fish.
I
Can,
love Dicky
speaking
so
my
much,
language.
man. I love Dicky.
I was out the other day and I said to a friend that I think Dickie is giving me some weird expectations around men.
Please, no, we're pausing here. Say more. You can't just drop that and have us not.
I think I just am like,
I feel much better now.
who is
Sorry.
that?
That was a
I
fart.
feel fine.
Was that something?
I
Who
feel better
redeemed that?
now.
Paul, why are you
So,
laughing?
I have a soundboard open that it turns out is keeping the same buttons I used to navigate this. Which I did not realize.
None of that was by accident. Don't lie to us.
I love it.
The man I love most in the world is trolling the stream. I just want to point that out.
I wouldn't have it any other
And
way.
he sat next to me.
This is your Twitch channel, Paul.
I'm glad it's just sound bites and you're not living through this experience that we're only hearing.
Oh, we are.
Is there anywhere I can get like potions of healing or greater potions of healing?
So as you look at the signage, you sort of look from top to bottom and all of the different languages that sort of spell out all of the different shops and trade centers that are available within the spire. And as you sort of scan down, you see vile bodies. And there it says, sort of next to him, potions and liquids from afar.
Ah.
Okay.
So it is bodies in vials, not like bodies that are bad.
Oh my god.
Okay.
They might have more blood. Like blood that I haven't tried. Blood that I haven't tested on.
Are you sure you don't want me to find that other lady? I feel like you two will really hit it off.
But there will be time for that later, but this is just
no
something
time
that's
for
also
that
on
now.
task. My god.
So what are you
Maybe-
guys... Oh no, girl.
Maybe we could look for weapons or armor or anything that might be of use to us, since I think that we're gonna get ourselves into a pickle pretty soon.
Oh, soon, but I think Nigel is our friend. Maybe he can set us up.
I don't trust anyone after what happened at the laboratory when I was a chimp. So
Yeah, Nigel does have a bad hit rate with me, I do have to say.
Oh, you know Nigel?
I know some Nigels.
Oh, I see.
It's
My
all
only
about
point
hit
of-
rate.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
only point of reference is there used to be this show called The Wild Thornberries, and
Do go on at length.
Oh, well, I mean, we don't need to talk too much about classical antiquity, but back in the ancient days, there was a cartoon where a ginger man voiced by noted actor Tim Curry was a friendly patriarch and zoologist. Honestly, we should all aspire to be that kind of a Nigel. However, it sounds like this Nigel is not that kind of guy.
I think maybe this Nigel will have the exact same voice as that other Nigel of which we're referring to.
I think that's almost a certainty.
Oh, absolutely. There is
Well,
no
if you
question.
ever get there, maybe you'll find out.
No,
All right,
side
let's make a
quest.
beeline. Let's make a beeline.
Mm.
Let's go.
No, we must spend 45 minutes before we leave this space because we must discuss every nuance of the details and plan that we do not have.
Right. So how many times has that been redeemed, and which characters have that been redeemed
Absolutely
for?
nobody. It's just Paul.
Oh,
At this point,
Paul is-
it's just all of
Paul
you.
is
You're
bored.
just doing it naturally. I don't think there's anything to
Baldy,
be redeemed.
Baldy redeemed the Cold War. I don't know what that means.
Oh, space! Because of Tim Curry,
Oh, okay.
actor of
That's what
antiquity.
Okay, there we go. That's what it is. That makes sense.
Not unlike
Our
what's his
patron
face?
saint of this
That's the
stream. Right. So you are stood. You are stood in front of. You are stood in front of. You are stood in front of a sign that has a lot of different directions. You guys are all discussing things that maybe you want, where you would go. Where do you guys want to go?
We want to go to this shop.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go to like a general shop, like a Marshalls or like a TJ Maxx back in, and then we could just get a little bit of everything.
Sure.
Oh, I would
So-
like to go to a Zara. I need
Not a
some
Zara.
overpriced basics. Thank you.
Now, some DMs railroad their parties into just making the choice, and I went, you know what? No, today we'll sandbox it. We'll give them an option. And honestly, that's a rod for my own back that I made. So yeah, you look at the entire the list of all of these shops, and very much like Vile Body saying potions and faraway liquids, there is Zara's, which sells a variety of clothing items, definitely maybe not made in sweatshops, and also a TM Max, which is all just one word in this universe, and it sells a variety of bargain goods that nobody else wants. And yeah, you have there are also like loads of different food stalls, all named after different. It's all Mercanes, but all of like the accents over the E's and the A's are all different. So it's just like McCains, McCanns, McCains, McCains, and so
Just like
yeah, a lot
boys
of
in
different
Rock
McCains. Mackins. One just sells chips in the shapes of dogs.
okay.
And
I
so-
have to bring this up because this is going to be entirely weird. There is a town in Norfolk where all the shops are just Roy's. Every single shop was taken over by this one company called Roy's. There is a McDonald's in this Roy's, and it blew my mind because I went into a town where all the shops had the same name, and I thought I was in an episode of The Prisoner. I thought a big rubber ball was going to bounce out of the water and I was going to get captured. But apparently that's completely normal in Norfolk. Thank you very much for listening to me ramble.
Same vein as Roy's, then we have a bunch of McCains, and also Baldy. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go straight to hell. Go straight to hell. It's terrible and great, and I love you. Whoo-wee. So, where is everyone going? What would everybody like to do?
So Dickie is just sort of doing the equivalent of like sitting on one's hands. Like Dickie is just trying to contain himself because vile bodies, first of all, like is where we're meant to be going, but also the promise of strange liquids. Dickie doesn't want to step on anyone's toes. Dickie wants everyone to get what they want out of this experience. but Dickie is also like it's like Christmas Eve. Dickie is just like, oh my god.
Oh, we lost our DM.
Hey, she back.
Whoop.
There, she's back. She's back. Okay.
Un
she muted.
momento.
Power move.
She
Alright.
quit the stream. She
You got
is
Yeah.
overexcited about all the strange liquids.
Sorry if I sound a little bit weird, but we will fix this for the next stream. So yeah, did you guys decide what you wanted to do and where you wanted to go?
I just want to thank Hooplu again because Hooplu is amazing and got the subs.
Yeah. Queen.
Oh, thank you. That's
We
so
love
kind of you.
Hooplu.
Thank you, Hooplu. Oh, made me feel a little bit emotional. All right. So where are you guys going?
Charlie's intrigued by vile bodies.
Going to the place, going to the thing.
Going to the place.
Going to the place, going to the thing? Holy shit. Okay, in which case...
We felt bad after the
Wait,
whole
hang
fight
on.
thing. This is like cutting you a break.
I'm just going to turn my headphones off like more often and then like this is all it takes. All right, so having been enticed by a whole bunch of different stores and trade centers and hubs that promise so many different things, your eyes eventually go to vile bodies and you follow the directions that it posts. There is a small purple arrow that points you towards what would appear to be sort of the back of this baseline, sorry, the 500th level of the tower. It points you around and into sort of like a dark corridor area.
I think I have light. I know my own character sheet. What is this? Richard Soames.
Entirely.
Dickie has dark vision, so it never once occurs to him to cast light.
Fantastic. In which case, I'm going to assume that Dickie's sort of leading the party down and towards this darkened corridor.
Oh yes, Dickie's just striding away, having the time of his life.
All right.
Can the rest of us kind of like follow, like holding something? Like, I don't know. Can we see anything? How dark is it?
Dickie.
What? I didn't hear.
So I'm going to say that like Charlie grabs TB's hand, TB grabs Jelemiah's hand, Jelemiah grabs your hand, and then together you sort of chain it down this corridor. Drakey Jake is ambling after you quite happily, just like no idea what's going on. You curve around this corridor and see sort of a dark set of stairs leading down towards an old elevator. It feels quite out of place compared to the rest of everything on this level, which looks bright and shiny and new. This looks different and a little bit off.
Can I just, since it seems a little bit off, cast... Ooh. Can I cast Detect Magic?
Yes, absolutely.
Sweet. Thank you.
So what does that allow you to detect?
Great question. For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any. This spell can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
All right. So the elevator before you, it's got that faint pinkish aura. And as you look a little bit closer, you realize there are no strings attached to the top of it or to the bottom. And as you look around, you realize it's just suspended in like an empty cavern that like goes straight down and straight up and is dark, and there are no lights anywhere around, but you can see that faint aura around it.
Do I know offhand what a pink aura is, magically speaking?
No, you don't, only because I don't, so.
I didn't know if that was meant to be like some sort of a hint with respect to the School of Magic, and I was like, just
in my head I was like, oh yeah, I'll be be real clever about it. I'll give it a color. That'll be nice. I'll ask about that later. I wasn't expecting you to ask about it now. That's too competent.
Sorry.
Honestly, not in the spirit of this. Emily, what are you doing?
Dickie is
No
gonna
worries.
say to the group. Also, like Dickie thinks they're just holding hands for fun. Dickie's just like, "All right, everybody. So this elevator has no strings, but I'm pretty sure it just the strings are magic. Is what I'm assuming. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Let's
Charlie's charging on him.
So everybody following?
go.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
All right. Yep.
Are we going up or are we going down?
I think Jess is about to define that.
As you get into the elevator, you see that like all of the walls are covered in buttons. Every last one of them, and it's like there are
Oh,
so
no.
many buttons. Could all of you make me a perception check, please?
That's a nat 20.
I need to
23.
stop rolling this real die at 10.
So I don't know how many of you have watched the latest season of Taskmaster, but there is a
Always.
task that all of the competitors had to do where they had a picture of their own hand taken, and then all of the hands were like amidst like 1,000 others placed up on 8 boards around them, and they had to identify their own hand amidst all of the chaos, right? So that is sort of what the scene before you looks like. There are so many buttons but instead of hands. With a natural 20, Jelly, immediately you notice, like, you just like pinpoint precision pick out a button that has that same purple arrow that was next to the vile bodies symbol on the signage at the very front of the store.
Jelly's eye just kind of like boop and presses the button.
With that, the doors sort of rickety steel sort of meshes into itself and closes around the entire. You can feel it like groaning the walls around you as something sort of begins to wrap around the elevator itself. And then could you all make me dexterity saving throws, please?
I was about to say, Charlie does not like confined spaces, and this feels very weird.
I was going to say, how's Drakey Jake feeling?
Not
Presently?
great.
Cool.
Not great, Jess.
All right. 17.
16.
Hot jelly.
10.
Hot jelly.
Hot jelly.
Hot,
That's
hot jelly coming at you in the morning.
That sounds like one of the smut pieces that TBD has.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Charlie, what was yours?
Okay, right. So I got. Oh, no, my boy, my sweet precious boy. Okay, so Charlie got a 15. Jake got a 10.
I also got a 10.
Okay.
So, anybody who rolled over a 15, you are fine. As the elevator begins to lurch sideways and around and curves, and you guys have seen elevators, sort of run by horse and cart back on Toril. You know that they're usually like pulley systems. Somebody's going to be at the other end, sort of holding. You've never seen one run quite like this before. It feels like it's on a racetrack of some sort of description, and so you are sort of slid side to side to side. Charlie and Drakey Jake just hit the deck, and as you do, Charlie, you see that you thought you were all stood on like a floor. It's more of a grate, and you are able to see down and below you as a sort of tunnel-like brick chimney situation rushes up at you, and you go down real fast, real hard. You can feel like your stomach is attempting to sort of lift up but because TBD and Jelly and Dickie have been spacefarers for much longer, they're used to surprising maneuvers, shall we say. So they managed to stay on their feet, just sort of like linking onto one another for stability. It's all very, very handsy as you guys are all trying to stay up.
It's cat with sellotape on side kind of vibes. Yeah.
Exactly this. After like a couple of minutes, you feel the entire elevator begin to sort of stop. It slowed down, and eventually it grinds to a halt. And ding! And the metal comes undone, and it opens out onto a very similar looking corridor for the one that you went down before.
And a ding to you, and walks out.
Oh, do you speak elevator?
Yeah. Yes, of course.
That'll be new. That might be a new default setting.
Ding bong. Bong,
French,
ding.
Russian, Tabaxi, Common, Gnomish, and Elevator. Cool. Putting that in there. That's canon now.
Bing bong. Fuck your life.
You all begin to move out of the elevator. You've not sustained any damage. Walk down the corridor. What you walk into is a very different scene from the 500th floor. You're now on, you can see from the signage, the 10th floor. Here it is dark and dingy. The air quality is not great. It is, you guys know what foul air feels like. This is verging on foul. And again, it coats your mouth and your throat even more than it did when you were on the dock. And as you peer through initially what you think looks like silver mist from the astral sea, you realize it's more of a smog. And it has blackened the entire floor around it. This sort of smoke sort of rises from vents in all of the different sides of this building, and Mercane that are walking through this area, this dark and dimly lit area, are all wearing masks over their face and are keeping their heads down. Nobody here is dressed in royal colors or regalia. Everything is black. There are very few lights lit with magical blue flames that line the streets. And you can see signs that sort of swing back and forth, jutting out from each of the trade posts.
Ah, so I'm back in Pittsburgh.
Well
That was a joke
played.
for one person.
And that's me.
And floor sign, it just says, twinned with Pittsburgh.
Oh.
Perfect.
Yeah, and now I'm just imagining someone coming up and be like, you know, we've got more bridges than Venice, because that's what everyone says to you in Pittsburgh all the time,
Yins,
apropos of
guys.
nothing.
Everyone says Yins guys, Jess. That's important
yeah.
for you down here.
Yins.
Yins guys in downtown.
Mm-hmm. Stillers.
Incredible.
So can I take a look, see if any of these signs look like vile bodies?
Yeah, absolutely. Make a perception check.
Sweet.
Can we all do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody who's looking for vile bodies, make that check.
22.
Amazing.
I rolled a 4. So
That's what I just saw. So initially, Jeremiah, you are convinced that you can see it in one of the corners of this massive building. You're like, that's it, that's for sure. And then you realize it's just a big dumpster full of like trash and rats.
Jelly sure likes dumpsters.
That's why he likes your butt.
Dickie, in the blue light, you can see swinging from one of the sides of the building a sign that is crooked, has been pulled off sort of one of its hinges. The symbol that has been carved onto it is a potion bottle filled with what appears to be like a greenish liquid, and just a scroll over it that says vile bodies. And the shop itself, the windows do not appear to be showing any light. Nothing is shining through them. And they are almost, it looks like they're boarded up, but they are black with whatever smog is going around you guys. Could you all make me a constitution saving throw?
There we go.
11.
15.
Oh no.
Oh,
I'm having a bad day.
I mean, I'm very much embodying Soames here, considering the hard castle I just rolled for the 3rd time this stream.
Lovely, lovely.
Lovely. If you rolled below a 15, I need you to take 4 points of poison damage, please.
I have poison resistance, so I take half,
You have
right?
poison. Half. Yep, half damage for you. The smog is attempting to cling to your jelliness, and you're able to sort of brush it off. You've got that sort of natural immunity, but spores are beginning to get in and mix with your your bright yellow visage. Everyone else, it is choking. If you breathe, TBD, actually, you are auto-gnome. Do you breathe?
No, I don't. I also have resistance against poisoning.
All right.
I don't know if that somehow counteracts with the nat one I rolled, like somewhere in the middle.
I'm gonna
Something
say
goes wrong.
Because of the thickness of the smog, it's going to be getting into your gears. It's going to be getting into the crevices of your carapace. No, insects have carapaces. It's going to be getting into your metal, like, and you're going to be able to feel it sort of slowing your movements down. But so it will still give you that sort of damage effect.
I love that the smog is so bad that TB doesn't even breathe, and yet
it's in my. I just feel like
is vile.
How much damage, please? How much damage?
You take 2 because you're resistant to poison.
Yep.
Okay.
Jelly's immediate reaction when the smog hits him is to like look at Charlie and do the thing that he did on the ship where he puts his hand over the head. And
Yay!
Absolutely done. Charlie,
such a sweet boy.
You take half damage.
No, I took full damage.
Oh, you take full. Oh,
like a real
champ.
cat.
Fair enough.
Meow. I say meow.
All right.
Meow, I think.
You are saved from any further damage. What is Drakey? What did Drakey Jake roll?
He got a 15.
Oh yeah, so he's fine. He's fine for the time being.
He's a good boy.
Nice. He's a good boy.
Yes,
all right.
But yeah,
Excellent
okay, so I've
stuff.
had a bad time going down the lift, and now I'm just in smog land. I'd like to think that I've just like latched onto the back of Drakey Jake, and I'm just there like, and then like Jelly's like gone like blobbed over my head, and I'm like,
is that another hairball?
Like it's trying, but there's like nothing there for a satisfactory hairball. It's just, yeah.
Oh,
Jelly just says,
"All right, we gotta be out of here in 30 minutes, because otherwise I will die, and so will Charlie. So just a precaution."
Yeah. So it's for sort of every 5 minutes that you spend, you will have to roll another Constitution save, just so as you guys are aware.
Okay. So I guess we'll just head in. Dickie's feeling fine because Dickie is like, this just reminds him of an industrial town in the Victorian era. So Dickie's just kind of like, this is familiar.
An urchin appears from a corner and just goes, you want a paper, Guff? And then he offers you like rags.
There's the workhouse. There's you.
Oh, okay. Oh, thanks. I'll go that way. And off it hobbles. Fuck.
Go into
Someone's randomly gets a venereal disease in the passing.
Yeah. It's all right. It's just the consumption.
That's
Remind
a
me,
passion for the working class.
Remind me to check in on him later, partially for his health and partially because consumption makes you spit up blood. Anyway,
You guys didn't know where she was going with that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone did.
She said, "Let me check up with him later." I knew exactly where that was going.
To the vile bodies!
All right. So you're heading towards vile bodies.
Yes.
Excellent. You move in the direction of the trade post that you see, and from the outset, it looks completely closed. There is nothing to indicate, aside from the old and tattered sign, that any business goes on here. There are no Mercane coming in and out. The windows are completely boarded or sooted up. You can't see in. The door has the very big, heavy knocker, but that is old and rusted, but there's no signs of life from the outside.
She's French in my head. It's so hard to shift. Yes, hello. Is there a Nigel? I'm now going back and forth. We have been sent by Gurgi. Just shouting into the boarded up stuff.
And by that she means the general Ursat's general. I forgot the R. I don't remember fully the acronym, but we're here for your wares.
Yes, hello.
Are you yelling this at the door?
Yes, and then a bit of a knock.
Oh, are
Yell
you
at
knocking? How are you knocking? So you're not using the knocker. You're just gonna give it a rap.
She's got little autonom hands. They're pretty,
Fair enough.
tinny.
I'm gonna make him do. Okay.
Hello, hello.
At first, there doesn't seem to be any sign of life, and then as you sort of go, hello, hello, hello,
Hello,
You-
hello,
you-
hello.
a glass breaks from the direction behind the windows. So you can hear that something is going on inside. Something is moving about in there.
That was not me. I did not break the glass. I am not liable for damages.
I'm grabbing the knocker. I want to be out of this smog as soon as possible. Let me in.
Grabbing
Um,
the knocker.
Initially, nothing happens, and then all of a sudden, the door draws back, and a face peers out. There are huge glass orbs where eyes should be almost embedded into this big blue face that you would be able to see. You can sort of see from like the forehead and the skin around that it's a Mercane for sure. But there is a large beak-like mask protruding from his face. He is clad head to toe in what looks like sort of almost latex black. There is stains going all up and down and around him. Like the bottom of this otherwise long cloak is stained green and orange and colors that don't have a name. There's a lot been going on. And he goes, how do I say this? Oh fuck. Okay. Who? I can't do. I can't do like this. I can't do. I can't do that.
Yes.
Brian! Stick to Brian.
Smashing. Okay. Yes. Who are you? Who has sent you?
Hello, I like your beak.
You realize as you sort of look at the beak a little more, he's got his hand pressed to his neck and is pressing a button. And the crackle of his voice comes out of either side of the beak. It's almost like it's being transmitted through and out. And the further you look, the further you see that this mask is sealed onto his face. Gee, my God, you're not wearing any masks. How are you? What is wrong with you?
I am a robot.
We didn't fully know what we were getting into, and I've been to some industrial places in my time, let me tell you. But if we could come in and talk, that'd be great. We've been sent by... And Dickie kind of like looks around and leans in close and goes, Lord Gurgi, and we were told you might be able to give us a hand.
At the name of Gurgi, you see the glass orbs embedded into his face go wide. You can't see his eyes, but they are moving with his expression. He goes, "Oh, come in, yes, smashing, yes, come in, yes, 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 yes." And he sort of opens the door and corrals you and like, yes, come in, all of you. Gurgi, I haven't heard that name in years. Yes, come in. As he sort of hurries you in, you're able to see that actually, behind all of the smog and all of the blackness covering this place up, behind it is a veritable wonderland of glass and liquid and light. There are so many experiments going on here. It's wild to try and think of what is in each of these bottles and vials. Rube Goldberg machines of liquids are dripping down the walls and into other beakers, and Bunsen burners are bubbling things over. It is a glass playground of intrigue. He pulls you in and goes, yes, okay. You said...
Yes. Your shop's incredible.
Jelly starts getting skittish and nervous because of his past experiences in a laboratory.
Hang on, he's gonna roll. Ooh, 19. He immediately sort of sees that you are uncomfortable and goes, "Oh, don't be worrying about that here, my friend. Just these are my experiments. We are looking, we are searching constantly. Yes. I mean, oh, there is magic to be found everywhere, within every substance. You see. Yes. For example, take this." He plucks from one of the shelves a vial that sort of has a very silvery liquid within it, swirling constantly, and hands it to Jelly. Goes, "Take a look."
I'm good, thank you. I'm gonna stand by the door if you guys need me.
I drink it.
All right, okay.
I just want something to like. Charlie needs something to wash his throat out. There's been a liquid offered to someone. Jelly's not gone for it.
All right, and so you're just taking this and
Yep.
chugging it.
Do I write a new character now, or do we do that between the?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to make a Constitution save, please. My God, I didn't know you could ingest lead.
If that doesn't remind Dickie of ancient times, I don't know what does.
With a 22, yeah, you say that somehow, like, you feel a metallic sting wash down the smog and coat your mouth in what would be metal. It passes through you, but it doesn't seem to affect you in any way yet. But your stomach feels remarkably heavier, like a cannon like a cannonball is in there. Yes, that's my potion of lead. Excellent. Oh yes, I like a man like you. Yes, willing to take the risks. You see, willing to take the risks. Oh, incredible.
Jelly, it was not worth it.
Jelly literally like takes his arm that was wrapped already around his head, unwraps it, and slaps him on the back, and just keeps his hand to himself, like he's not saving you anymore.
Could you make an unarmed attack roll, please?
Oh God. Does a 19 hit?
That hits.
You take
That
four.
slaps.
You take 4 bludgeoning damage.
Thank you.
Excellent.
With a little head.
Dickie is definitely gonna want to like just be taking a look around like a kid in a candy store, but first is gonna check in with Jelly really quickly and go, "Hey there, buddy. I know this is probably one of the places you'd feel safest, but if you'd like to climb under my armor, if that would make you feel more comfortable, I don't know. I just want you to feel as alright as possible."
Jelly just kind of like looks at the captain and just turns to the door and stands in the door, like looking down.
Dickie goes, "All right, you need anything at all, I will drop, well, not physically drop, I will stop whatever I'm doing, okay?"
Jelly sprouts an arm from his back and pulls a thumbs up.
You know, I might have just the thing to make you feel better. And I promise I'll tell you what it is before you drink it this time. And one of his arms sort of reaches up and behind one of the many sort of glass tubes that are lining the walls. He plucks it out, and there's this swirling colors, rainbow, almost, you know, that sort of sheen that oil has. It's that, but neon. And he offers it to Jelly and goes, "Here. It is a potion of neon nights. All of your bodily expulsions are neon-colored and glow. It's a permanent effect."
Holy shit!
Jelly is
How is that
hesitant.
different from what you do now?
Jelly is hesitant, but he grabs a vial and like says, "Why not?" And he uncorks it and drinks it.
Ah, fantastic. And I've made sure that the formula includes farts as well.
Jelly, if you could make a note in your character sheet that all of your bodily expulsions are now a neon color of some kind.
Okay.
feel calm if you're trying to hide. Just a little neon cloud just emits from a bush.
Terrible for
Truly, the
stealth,
vaporwave.
amazing for performance. Incredible. So you say Gurgi sent you to me?
Yeah. I mean,
Incredible.
here's the thing. So we're on this mission, but honestly, I wish he had sent me to you sooner. I am obsessed with you. Do you want to come on the boat with us?
I would, but I haven't left the vile body shop in many a year. I am somewhat tied to this place, you see. So where is it you are looking to head? I wonder why Gurgi has sent you to me. That's such an odd. Yet Gurgi has contacts all over this city. Why would he bring you here? I wonder.
Gurgi's trying to send us to the Krungus system to
Krungus system.
I'm trying to remember the name of the Lich Farm place.
Having a wee look, Captain.
Isn't it Hekatha?
I thought Hekatha was the place where we were before.
True.
I see. So to the Krungus system.
Kelly, that was it.
Lily.
Yeah.
Kelly.
Thank you, Hooblu.
Yes. Oh, trade used to be so free between there before the wars between the Cabal and the Sisters. Oh, I do long for the simpler days. They were smashing, they were. And with that, he sort of removes his hand from his thing. He goes, I might be able to help you, but I must ask, who is your allegiance to?
Well, our allegiance is, quite frankly, to just getting the job done, staying
Like
alive.
that answer. Fantastic. Then do excuse me, and do not be frightened. And with that, he takes off one of the really long gloves, and you see rippling all over his hands, wrist, lower arm, the glittering tattoos of the God's Blood Cabal.
Mm.
It's tatted. Nigel's got ink.
I serve the Cabal, you see. They running the Lich Farm these days, they require poisons, potions from afar. And that is what I provide. For example, look here, and do not touch. Do not drink.
No, I'm okay.
And from
Jelly?
Oh,
Jelly's growing a lot more uneasy, and he just lets out a nervous fart that it poofs into like a pink cloud behind it.
look, amazing, fantastic. You see, you could sell that, you could trade on that. I reckon you could. No. And he opens a cupboard behind him, and you see vials shaped in beautiful twisting bottle glasses that have black liquids within them that absorb all sunlight. Anish Kapoor would not be welcome here. And pinks, colors that seem to not be able to escape. You see this? Midnight tears. Yes. Deadly stuff. No, and he puts it just sort of back up and out of reach. Yes, the Cabal, you see. The Cabal trades in that. That is what they want from me, and that is why I am tied here. I haven't left in. I can't remember. But if it is transport to the Krungus system that you seek, and you will need to travel upon the Cabal light links, yes?
That's what we were hoping. And did they give you vacation days? Like, do you have any PTO? What's going on there?
No.
Oh.
This is America. No, this.
Yeah.
My area. No, that the Cabal are generous and giving and forgiving in the right circumstances. They, for example, have allowed me to keep my life. But if you betray them, there's no coming back. I consider myself a curious character. They will stop at nothing. Hence, my ties to this place. However, if you sign to the Cabal or find a way to join the Cabal without the head knowing. You know how the Cabal structure works, right?
I gotta be honest. I've just been kind of doing my own thing, living that disco lifestyle. Would you care to remind me?
Yes. No. It escapes so many people. There is the body of the Cabal. People like me, we do the bidding, as it were. We commit to the trade. We put ourselves on the line. The neck of the Cabal are those higher up. Those are the people who we take orders from, who we are in debt to, shall we say. And then you have the head of the Cabal. The head, oh, what lofty heights. There are 5 members of the head of the Cabal. God knows where they are now. Feels like centuries since I've seen them. But they are around. I wonder if they are the same now as they were then. They have a grand variety of people within them. Yes. You will be able to tell us about, for example, body here. The tattoos of the god's blood itself is only within my limbs. And then for the neck, and then for the head. That's how it works. So, yes, if you...
I have a question for you, Mr. Creepy, Scary Man who talks like Nigel Thornberry.
Yes, go for it.
Have you made any dealings with the Sunless Sisters before working with the Cabal, or...
I am afraid to say I did. I was once loyal to the sisters, and I fell from grace, shall we say. I switched sides, and then attempted to switch back. Best of both worlds. I didn't get it. I wouldn't suggest it.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Nigel.
It's fine. I'm here. I have my own little place, and I am free to do experiments as I will, providing I can give the poison, get the poisons ready for the lich farm. Yes, it is a perfectly good arrangement. I'm alive, and I have all of my body parts intact.
That's fantastic news.
Yes,
Nigel.
Yes.
Are you happy?
Oh, tremendously, dear boy. Tremendously. I'm never happier than when I'm in danger.
Oh my God, Nigel.
Yes?
Nigel, I love you.
Oh, fabulous! It's good to have a kindred spirit.
Hold on. And Dickie runs over to Jelly really quick, rifles through his suit jacket pocket, and goes, as a token of my appreciation of just like, hell, your vibe and also your help, here's some Astral Elf menstrual blood.
Absolutely amazing. I can. Oh, yes. I will find a way to use this. Like you can see him like look at you for a minute. Like, how did you get? I don't know. He's not going to ask questions. He's just going to put it in a little test tube rack, and he's looking at it like, yes. We'll be running some tests on that later.
You should see what that shit does under moonlight. It's crazy.
Moonlight, you say? Oh, okay, yes. I'll make a. He sort of turns around briefly and starts making notes like moonlight for the menstrual blood of the fucking astral elf. Yeah, sure. Oh, yes, absolutely, yes. Oh, fabulous. Okay. So, Gurgi sent you to me. I trust Gurgi. Gurgi's a good one. Gurgi's a good man. Good little Doha. They've done absolutely amazing things for me. If it weren't for him, I'd probably be dead. But if it's the Cabal lines, the light link lines that you need to use, I'm a little bit useless there, I'm afraid. The only way to do it is to show allegiance to the Cabal through the light link gate that they have installed upon the very, very top of the spire. The Rising Spire. You know the orb. The orb. Yes.
Oh,
you.
I was
you are-
pondering the orb.
Ponder the orb. Yes. Yes. That's exactly what you need to be doing. Ponder all orbs. Good orbs.
Dicky is
Love,
always pondering orbs.
love a good orb. Oh yes. Any ship that passes through the light link has to pass through there to use Cabal space light links. The others from the Summer Sisters, they don't really mind regarding Mercane space, but that one they do. In order to use that, you'll need proof. And that usually comes in the form of a God's Blood tattoo. Now I can tattoo you. I have the God's Blood. Oh, do I have God's Blood? And he like runs off to the back of the shop and like comes back with like 10 vials of it. Like, yes, we can do that. We can definitely do that. We can definitely do that. Pops those down. That would be the only way to do it normally. I would obviously require payment. Clearly, what Gertie said you guys to me. But aside from that, it's 250,000 gold pieces to use the Cabal system.
Interesting.
Well, I have 20.
Oh.
Out of curiosity, would you take payment in smut?
No.
Or soup?
No.
Song?
No.
That's fair.
He looks at Jelly.
He goes, Gertie sent you to me for a reason. We've never seen a yellow plasmoid before. I'm betting that's what he says.
Okay. No.
I'm asking only for a small sample of your yellow plasmoid friend, and I will happily grant you that passage via the tattoo system. What do you say? I mean, if it's a no-go, on all counts, the only other way that you could probably do it is to hack the light link system.
That sounds hilarious. Let's do that.
Seriously?
How attached does the limb need to be for God's Blood light system?
I'm an experienced hacker.
Well, sorry, the tabaxi. What did the tabaxi say?
To use the light link system of the Cabal,
yes,
you need a God's Blood tattoo.
Yes.
Does it need to be on a living arm?
Well, they will scan you. Yes, absolutely. They will scan you, and then you and anybody else on your ship that they detect will have to have that tattoo.
Knife goes back away.
If gets tattoo on, say, robot limb, and then gets replace said limb afterward, would that kind of?
I mean, it could. It is risky. They will know your name.
Well,
similar to the. I'm assuming the sisters have all taken your details. They did mine and my family.
Well, can they prove we don't have? I don't have documents.
Jelly brings out his battle axe and said,
"We didn't mention having negotiations with the Sinless Sisters."
Sinless.
Was that you? What?
It's the second time that's happened. I don't know what's going on. Someone's firing a cannon.
Okay.
No big deal. It's Argentina. They just won the World Cup. It's a lot of noise happening.
I assume, considering you are asking about Cabal space, that you arrived here on Sunless Sister space. The only way to get through Sunless Sister space is to make a deal with the Sunless Sisters. Am I missing anything?
We don't want to die.
Nobody
I'm
does.
with Jelly on this one. That seems like an awful big jump. You don't know which way we've come from.
Well, that is entirely your denunciation. That's fine. That's fine. If you don't want to deal, then you don't have to deal. You don't have to deal. But you will have to find a way to crack the light link system to know what he's been able to do for 10,000 years. That's wild.
Charlie looks to Jelly and to Dickie. What's the back
Jelly
towards
leaps.
TBD?
Jelly leaps and tackles this Nigel and
Yes.
grapples him.
What?
Yes.
Oh.
What?
Okay. So you okay? So contested strength
Mhm.
check. All right. Could you roll me a strength check for me, Jeremiah?
That's a nat 20.
Okay.
Welcome to
Okay.
the slam.
So
What is happening?
Nigel doesn't move and is sort of quite shocked and goes, "Oh, okay, all right. Oh, it's a dangerous move, my lad. You are in very close range to a lot of dangerous potions that you don't quite know what to do. But
I've had my experience with vials and flasks of mysterious liquids in the past, and I just have to say, you are renouncing your investigation and you're coming with us to the Cabal system, okay?
Is that what you believe? That's interesting. That is interesting. I don't think I will be. But I appreciate the invitation, forceful as it may be. Ah, gosh. Oh, I haven't had this much excitement since I was studying under Dr. Lime. Oh, it takes me back.
Jelly's eyes kind of like go to the back of his head like a snail, and he says,
What should we do? I don't trust this guy, and I feel like he might snitch.
Did you say Dr. Lime?
Yes.
Yeah, that
Yes,
that
Dr.
stuck out.
Dr. Lime. Did you know Dr. Lime? Do you know Dr. Lime?
Jelly
Confessor.
Jelly immediately unhands him, and props him up, and like goes back to the door.
Oh, is it something I said?
I mean, subpar alchemist that Dr. Lime did research and all, but you know.
Oh yes, what?
Oh,
you
allow
think?
me to introduce myself. I am Jelemiah S. Lime, the only descendant of Dr. Lime.
And that's where we're going to leave today's session. Oh, incredible scenes all around. Thank you guys so much for playing. That has been absolutely delightful. I'm sorry for butchering Nigel Thornbury as much as whatever it was. But now I believe is the time that we hear the Sasha story that we have all been promised.
Oh my god, so overhyped.
I'm so sorry.
I know. It's fine. It's fine. Just prepare yourselves.
If you do not want to say it, you do not have to. There is no pressure here. Oh god, that was so loud.
I'm just like imagining. I think this wasn't even. I just realized this wasn't even a questing time thing. I'm just conflating it because I was watching a lot of the Rachel Paris and Marcus Brigstock always be comedy stuff, and they would always start off their like Tuesday night clubs with this. And I literally only just now realized that that's where this was from and not questing time, so no one has any idea what the fuck I was doing. Anyway, no, I don't like telling the story. Yeah. Emily already said half of it. So people may know, because you've been around us for a minute on the internet, that Emily and I were roommates sophomore year of university, along with another friend of ours named Shannon. We had a friendship with the trio of boys downstairs in the apartment building. All sorts of shenanigans around that we will not get into today. But there was a tryst, let's say, as happens in university, between our flatmate and one of the boys downstairs, who was an absolute prick. Just a terrible human being. And so he hurt her feelings. The three of us rallied around. We were like, this is not going to happen. What are we going to do? What are we going to do about this prick?
I'll add the side note that, without going into like too much, like in terms of hurting her feelings, there was also a public humiliation component of this, which added quite a bit to the unacceptable treatment of our friend. Sorry, I'll hand it back to Sasha.
No, so she was quite upset, obviously, and Emily and I were like, absolutely the fuck not. So I don't remember quite, but I do like what the other brainstorming entailed. But at that time, there was this little website called thinkgeek.com that many of us were very obsessed with.
Rip.
Rip. Bought a lot of stuff on there. But one of those things inspired this idea, shall I say. And I don't remember where this came from, but for some reason I was just like, I know. What if we released crickets or something similar into this boy's underwear drawer? I looked online. I remember specifically the three of us were in my room around the desk. I found you can order tubes of crickets, live crickets, delivered to you, presumably for
God.
feeding in. So we're like, okay, let's order a bunch of crickets. So we did this, and then I had one of the other flatmates let me in. I just talked him into letting me in into this guy's room. No explanation. Released a bunch of the crickets here, but the coup de grace, and why I bring up ThinkGeek, is that there was this thing called the Annoyatron 2.0, which would release a random noise, or not random noise, a certain noise on one of the settings at random intervals, and the battery would last for up to 6
Oh.
months, and just had like a
Trial.
magnet, and you could just sort of hide it. And one of the settings on the Annoyatron 2.0 was the cricket sounds.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So step 1, release a bunch of crickets into this guy's underwear drawer. Step 2, put the Annoyatron 2.0 on the cricket setting. Again, a random interval so they can't track it on the magnet under the metal bed frame of said person.
Oh my
And
goodness.
the battery would last about 6 months. So good luck.
And first of all, on Sasha's part, this is so brilliant. It is pro revenge. And second of all, another thing that just kind of cracked me up about the whole situation is this particular person had so many enemies that he couldn't figure out who had done it. He would wildly speculate in our presence sometimes about the various people who would do such a thing. Never once occurring that, first of all, it might have been anyone involved with our poor flatmate.
My
But second of
God.
all, it just cracked me up that, like, I was like, how many enemies do you make before you start to think I might be the problem?
Not enough, it would seem. God.
Sasha, do you still? I know for like years you got those cricket emails. Do you still get emails like, "Do you want more crickets?"
No, I think they've stopped now. I think
I love that. Do you want more crickets? You need more crickets?
We can get you
You
more
got-
crickets.
You got more revenge? You need to plan? We got crickets for that. I love this. Yes, that is the end of questing time today. Sorry, my brain is absolutely frazzled. I think I'm coming down with something just in time for the holidays. The gift that keeps on giving, illness. So we'll
Tell
go
me about
around
it.
and just so that everyone can know where we can find more stuff from everybody else. Sam, what of yours can we find and where?
Hi, you can go to projectheadphones.com. I mainly do podcasts. I'm doing a podcast called At the Table with Jess. So we talk about tabletop RPGs and LARP and stuff. Yeah, that's where you can find me.
Nice. M, where can we find you?
Fabulous. I want it that gray on Twitter, and apart from that, I just live a quiet life of excessive amounts of sleeping. But I would encourage everyone to please check out everyone else on the stream's stuff, because everyone's super cool and they make amazing content.
Sasha, where can we find your stuff?
Yeah. Also, just clarifying, it is the American spelling of gray.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, sorry about that.
Don't be sorry for being American. We apologized enough, I think, you and I.
I guess I'm trying to now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I don't really know fully why it's AY.
I've struggled with this a lot. I had a lot of teachers correcting my spelling when I would put a U in color when I was in elementary school.
It's all right. They're allowed to be wrong. People are allowed to be wrong. It's fine.
I remember being very confused. Anywho, I also don't really do anything except shitpost on the Now Hell site Twitter, which used to be a lovely, well, for me, I curated a lovely space. Obviously, social media is how you use it. At Dear Lady Disdain, as in the animal. I'm pretty sure anyone who's watching, you already know me. I post a lot of random nonsense. That's that. Tried Instagram for this and it failed. I guess Mastodon is going to be the next experiment.
Oh, let's hope and pray.
but who knows? Nacho, well, where can we find
Hi.
your stuff?
Yeah, you can find me at Nacho Sunflower on TikTok and Twitch, and then you can find me at Nacho_Sunflower on Twitter and Instagram. So thank you. I appreciate you guys.
And
I
also the
appreciate.
Questing Time Discord.
Period.
Oh
Yes.
yes, that's a place. I would like to start off by saying, okay, Matt, usually we do it at the top of the episode, but I was too excited to get to TBD's error code memory section. I love programming, and usually we start off the stream with saying, "All hail Paul Foxcroft," without which this this stream and all of the tech
All
would not
hail
happen. So,
Paul.
all hail Paul Foxcroft!
Oh,
All hail Paul.
There's so much noise. Everything is confusing now. Paul has put a tremendous amount of effort into all of the alerts and to making everything work. And me, he puts a lot of effort into me because I'm a massive dickhead. And so I've been mildly less of a dickhead because Paul has been in my life. Also, I just want to shout out the fact that, like, for Christmas, he got me a fucking sword. Like, I win. He's not yours.
Yeah.
He's mine. Fuck you. I love him unendingly. I think he's the greatest person on the face of the earth. You can follow him at Mr. Spider-Gon on Instagram, at Paul Foxcroft on Twitter. You can go over to the Questing Time website and buy merch and do stuff there. That's also cool and great. Support the channel. It's amazing. And
Oh, we
yeah,
need some
go.
Moonlighters
You
merch.
tell him that you like him online, but be aware he's mine, and now I have a sword. So that's also something. You can find more of my nonsense on Instagram at Dr. Bees, on Twitch at It's Dr. Bees, and on Instagram, no, on, oh fuck, somewhere at Jula Hoop, because I can't remember why.
Instagram, Julie Hoop.
Instagram, Jula Hoop, yeah, there's a
I know,
whole
so I
bunch
keep
of
trying
them.
to find you to tag you things or something, and then I was like, confused.
I'm making it difficult for reasons. That's my entire. Yeah, there's a lot of shite on there. If you enjoy terrible takes, go find me. But yeah, we will be back. I believe the next session that we will have is 2 Sundays time. So not Christmas, not New Year's Day. The 8th of January is when we will be back with the next session of this incredible stream, and we will find out a little bit more about Jelemiah's past.
Ooh.
Thank you guys so much for being here. You mean the world. Have the most incredible holidays. Light and love to everybody. And yep, trans men are men, trans women are women. Racists suck. And if you oppose any of these ideas, you need to fucking evaluate yourselves, my guys. But I love you. Thank you for being here. You're wonderful. Goodbye. Good night. Mwah.
Bye, everyone. Bye now.
Oh,
Bye-bye.
yeah.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.